Hey guys, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel and welcome to the beginning of the first Whateverathon reading vlog. So, sorry if I sound sick. I can't actually tell how I sound. I am having really bad allergies and like literally my throat was closing up yesterday. So, yeah. Let's hope Claritin actually does something today because it did not do anything yesterday. But I will let you guys know what I'm reading. So if you guys are not aware of Whateverathon is a month-long readathon going the whole month of June that is hosted by Maddie from Book Browsing Blog. I will link the announcement video down below. I'm not sure if I'm going to be weekly vlogging or doing like fortnight vlog, so like 2 weeks or 1 week in a vlog. We shall just see how this goes. So the first book I'm reading is A Marvelous Light by Freya Marske. This one I had started a couple days ago, but I didn't get to finish it before the month switched, but it's okay. Maddie has said herself that she's using multiple books that she has already started, so it's pretty chill. So I am watching Reading Sprints right now that Gav is doing right now with Sandra and Pris, and I am going to read this. I am very close to the end. We've already done a sprint, so I was not this far at the beginning of the day. But yes, so I'm reading this. Let me show you the cover again. So this is historical fantasy set in, I don't even know what time, the 1920s? Historical England, I'm not really sure the exact time period. Though the early 1900s makes sense because they are referencing the 1850s and these people who are now like old. The people who are in the 1850s. But we're following our main characters, Robin Blythe and Edwin Corsi. So one day Robin starts this new job, and he's sort of thrown into the world of magic that he didn't know existed before. And then there's, I don't even know how to explain the plot of this, because then there's like a curse and magic and stuff. I don't know how to explain it, but it's good. And for my prompts, this will be fulfilling. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. My sick brain is like, I can't think with these allergies. So this will work for purple cover. Can't know if you can tell, but it's very purple. And then it'll work for a and of and the. In the title, it is also LGBTQIA+ because there's a male-male romance. What else was I using this for? I might be using this for like the last letter, first letter, but that only counts when you read the second book. On the cover. Oh, it's a 2021 release. I think that's it. It works for like 4 or 5 prompts. So, gonna do this. So I will probably finish this in the next 1 or 2 sprints, and then we will move on to picking my next book. I went through and I wrote down like this huge list of all the books that I could work for certain prompts, and we're just gonna go with it. I'm not setting a specific TBR, though there are certain books that I want to read, just because I am more of a mood reader and I have to sort of go with what I want to read, what I have time to read. So yeah, I don't know how much of each genre and stuff I'll be reading. I don't really have any super big plans. We're just gonna see how the month goes. I did pledge 7 books, so that is my goal. I did read 13 or 14 last month, so that's very unusual for me. So we'll see how we do this month, but I'm gonna go back to reading A Marvelous Light, and we'll see if we can finish it in the last little less than 40 minutes of this sprint that we're on. Okay, so I'm about to get ready to go to work. Oh my god, I feel like my voice sounds horrible. But I did just finish A Marvelous Light by Freya Marske, and this did get me 275 points for the Shelf Slayers, so There we go. I ended up using it for a book with purple on the cover, and spooky, because there was a curse, so we're gonna call it spooky because I don't do spooky. And it's kind of dark, so yeah. And then I used it for joint sprints because I'm watching sprints, and cozy reading time because I read the entire thing in my bed, in the blankets, and my dog joined at the last second, so I think that counts. So yeah, so now I think I'm going to use this for the last letter, first letter prompt, and read a book starting with T. I don't know why I said T. My teacher coming out. It's a book starting with the letter T. So I think the next one I'm going to read is The Bride Test by Helen Huang. But I'm not 100% yet. But I can't read anything right now because I'm about to go to work, and I probably won't read anything when I get home because it'll be late because I'm closing. So I will see you guys when I decide on what I'm reading next, and I'll let you guys know. Hello. So I don't remember the last time I updated you. Like, I mean, I know, okay, you know, I think it was on the 1st or the 2nd, and I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna pick up, so I guess it must have been the 1st, because I think I picked this up the 1st or the 2nd, but I ended up picking up The Bride Test by Helen Huang for my next book for Whateverathon, and I already finished it. I read it in like about 24 hours. I finished it on the 2nd. It's now the 5th. I haven't read anything since, so that's all you missed. But this is the 2nd book in the Kiss Quotient series by Helen Huang, which this one follows our main character, Kai, who has autism, and he avoids romantic relationships because he feels he's undeserving of love and like is not capable of being loved and having love, like giving love. So his mom goes to back to Vietnam to like find him a wife, and comes across Esme, who is working at this hotel as like a maid, and she has a daughter, and her daughter's dad, like her baby daddy, tried to like take her back and like take her to live with him and his wife. So Esme's trying to like make a better life for her daughter, so she agrees to go to America and be this like mail order bride essentially, but she doesn't tell anyone about her daughter, and that's the story. And it is Asian representation as well as the autism representation, and I really enjoyed it. This I didn't like this as much as I liked the first book. I gave this a 4-star, where I gave the Kiss Quotient a 4.5, but it's still really good. I used this for the last letter, first letter prompt, because the last book I read was A Marvelous Light, which is T, and then The Bride Test begins with T, obviously, and then I also used it for Recently Hauled, because it's like one of my most recent books that I got, and under 300 pages because it's 296 pages, but it works for like so many prompts. And I haven't picked up another book yet. But I did go to another library book sale today, like the fill a bag sale, and we did 2 bags for $10, and I'll show you guys what I got. Sorry if the angle changed, I think it did. And for my messy room, I had to take my boyfriend back because he's going to bed. So here is what I got. I guess we'll start with the books, and if you don't care, you can skip. So first I got On the Come Up by Angie Thomas, which is the 2nd book in the Hate You Give series. She really liked the 1st book, and I got her the 3rd for Christmas, so I thought I'd get her the 2nd. I also got My Other Sister, a thriller by Sarah Pekkanen and whatever the other person's name is, I don't remember. And then I also gave my friend, who I ran into after, I gave her a Lisa Jewell book. Something about watching. I don't remember the title. But yeah. And then I also got The Push by Ashley Audrain. I've heard so many good things about this, and I love books about like family dynamics, and this is a book about this woman named Blythe who has this daughter named Violet, and she just feels no connection to her. She thinks her daughter's like evil, and her husband thinks she's like imagining things, and then she has like a son, and then she and the son like click really well, and it's like this is what a relationship should be. So it's all about like, is this all in her head, or is this girl, like her daughter, actually like crazy? Like what's going on? I've heard nothing but good things, so it's not a genre I read. I don't really read thrillers because I'm a scaredy cat, but we're gonna maybe try. I got American Dirt by Jeannie Cummins, another just, you know, book that I've seen everywhere. And I read the first little part, and it says Lydia Quixano Perez lives in the Mexican city of Acapulco, and she runs a bookstore. And that's all I heard. That's all I read. Something about books. I just saw things about books. She owns a bookstore. Sure, I'll read it. I've heard lots of good things. Another thriller I got, One by One by Ruth Ware. This is set at this like ski chalet in the French Alps, and it feels sort of like, and then there were none, people like start dying. I don't know. I have a very rough idea of what some of these are about. This is one I have no idea what it's about. It's The State of Terror by Louise Penny and Hillary Rodham Clinton. Something about president. I don't know. It's a political thriller. Never read a political thriller, but you know, we got Hillary, and I've heard good things about Louise Penny as well, so thought we would give that one a whirl. We have Cast: The Origins of Our Discontinence by Isabel Wilkerson, which this one is really interesting because it talks about caste systems in different like societies. So it's linking the caste systems of America, India, and Nazi Germany, exploring the 8 pillars that underlie caste systems across civilizations. I was an anthropology major in school, and like society and how like societies are formed and like caste systems and stuff, it's always been something I've learned about, and it'll be interesting to see the connections that this author draws to between different cultures and countries and everything. So this one I have known about for before, and so when I saw it, I thought it would be an interesting read. Another thriller I got, A Good Marriage by Kimberly McCrate. Another one I've heard Books and Lala talk about. It's about this like lawyer who gets like called by an inmate at Rikers who is like an old friend of hers, because his like wife is found dead, and they all think that he killed her. And there's like this like face that I didn't see the first time I saw this cover, like when I was watching people talk about it, and then ever since I saw it, it's even creepier. Yeah. I know what you're thinking. This is a lot of thrillers for someone who doesn't read thrillers. Yes, it is. So I got 5 thrillers, and then that one nonfiction. I have more. I just am trying to move these. Alright, next. We have Hot Dog Girl by Jennifer Duggan. This is a queer YA contemporary following Eloise Parker, who goes by Lou, I guess, who lands a job at this like theme park as a hot dog girl, and she's trying to get her crush, but then I think she ends up falling for someone else. I don't know. Maddie from Book Browsing Blog loves Jennifer Duggan, so when I saw this, I had to get it, so yeah. This was very much an impulse buy. This is Their Fractured Light. Don't even know which number this is in the These Broken Stars series, but it's not book 1. I don't know. I then got a Torch Against the Night by Sabathir. This is the second book in the Ember in the Ashes quartet. I have started Ember and then soft DNF'd it a long time ago because I was listening to the audiobook and I just like didn't like it. I wanted to read it physically and then I haven't picked it up. And now I own the sequel too. I own the first one in paperback and this one now in hardcover, but you know, it's whatever. And then I got Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace by Terry Brooks. This is based on the original screenplay and story by George Lucas, so I thought I'd give it a try. Plus, Terry Brooks wrote The Shannara Chronicles, which is another series I've been interested in for a long time and just never picked up because it's super long. Also, I don't want to keep looking at him because he's scary. The romance section at this one was severely lacking, by the way. But I did get Lorraine Heath, Never Love a Cowboy. I believe this is another one of the Texas Dreams series or something. Something about Texas, I don't remember. But I had to step back and it was Lorraine Heath, so I grabbed it. Yeah. I have another couple of Lorraine Heaths, but I haven't read any of them. I got The Proposal by Jasmine Guillory. Didn't even know there was a mass market of this. But my friend in college really loved this. And I've been interested in Jasmine Guillory for a while, so grabbed that. One I'm super excited about is The Love Con by Ceresia Glass. I believe this came out this year. Like, I think this is the 2022 release. Is it not? Oh, December 2021, so the end of 2021. But it's about this like fashion competition, like cosplay competition, and our main character is single, but there's like a couples episode or something, and she needs her best friend to pretend to be her boyfriend. And then the last book I got is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. This is a book set in Alaska following like complex family dynamics. And yeah, everyone loves Kristen Hanna. That was my excuse. And then I'll show you guys the movies I got in case you're interested. I got The Lion King and Wreck-It Ralph. These are more for my brother, but yeah. Well, I might keep The Lion King, but Wreck-It Ralph is definitely for my brother. I also got Bones Season 1, and Season 2 is in here somewhere, but yeah. I got, well, my boyfriend picked out the Back to the Future box set. These are all empty because I've put them in my DVD case, but he also picked out The Fifth Element. I got Batman, which is the one with Jack Nicholson in the Tim Burton version. Then I got a bunch of like rom-coms and stuff. So we got Must Love Dogs, which I've never seen. Pretty Woman, classic. Something About Mary. One of my favorites, My Big Fat Greek Wedding. We got Mean Girls. Had to continue my Nicholas Sparks collection with Nights in Rodanthe. Read the book. It was okay. I'm not a 40-year-old woman, so I didn't really relate, but yeah. I think that's it. And then my boyfriend got 14 CDs. So we got a total of 43 things for $10, which is like 20 cents a piece. So now I can throw away the cases. But yes, that was my big haul. You know, I didn't really get that much books. Last time we went to one of these, we went to another town over, and we got 3 bags of stuff for $15, and definitely got a lot more stuff, and a lot more books that I was interested in. This one definitely had a lot of thrillers and mystery. Like, there was a whole separate room just for thrillers and mysteries, but the fiction section and the YA section were really, really limited, really small. So yeah, but still obviously found some things. So yeah, I still don't know what I'm gonna pick up, but I gotta pick it now because it's Sunday night and I want to read something. So I will tell you once I decide. Alright, I've been absolute trash at updating this vlog. yeah, it's already long too, so I don't know if this is gonna be the end. That will probably be the smart thing. I think I'm gonna end it after this clip. I did want to let you know that I ended up picking up Sabriel by Garth Nix for the host fave prompt, book with a weapon on the cover because that's a sword there, and the bells are a weapon, but yeah, the sword's like hanging off the edge here, and something else that I'm forgetting, but it worked for 2 or 3 prompts. And then I did finish this. I read this in 2 days, like 3 days actually. So I started on the 5th, finished it on the 7th. I liked it. I think I'm in a fantasy slump. Everything is just like meh. Like there's cool aspects to it, and I feel like if I wasn't in this sort of headspace, I would have enjoyed it more. But I ended up giving it a 3.5 stars. This was Rose, one of Rose's favorites. So did that, and it's a book that I've had on my physical TBR for like 3 or 4 years. So glad to get it out of the way and to have read it. But yeah, I probably will continue with the series. I just need to be in a fantasy headspace, which I am not. So yes. And then what I just read was ebook from my library for the borrow a book prompt. Okay, well, it doesn't show me the front cover, but I'll just do this. I read A Quick and Easy Guide to Queer and Trans Identities by Maddie G and J.R. Zuckerberg. I read this on Hoopla through my library, and a nonfiction about the different terminology in the queer community and what it means, and all the different ways that you can be queer, and the difference between gender and sex, and a bunch of different things. I really enjoyed the first part of it. The like last little bit was like, this is what a toxic relationship is like. You shouldn't do this. And like just went into relationships, which I didn't really understand why that was in the book, because it was just sort of about relationships in general, and not just, it wasn't really about queer or trans identities in any way. So kind of confused as to why that was in the book at the very end, but otherwise I enjoyed this book. Found it very informative, and yeah, it's just always a good thing to get more educated. There was things in here that I didn't even know were terms or identities that you could have. So still learning, always learning. And yeah. And this is a graphic novel, and the illustration style, this is just a forward. The illustration style is really colorful and fun. So it was a quick read, and I enjoyed it. So that is what I read. That one worked for borrow a book because I borrowed it from the library. Worked for a book with green on the cover because there's green on the cover, and my boyfriend chose green for the color on the cover prompt. And then it worked for, I'm really not prepared right now. It got me my first bingo, so that was exciting. Let me just show you my bingo board where we're at now. Let me turn you around and show you the bingo board. Alright, so this is where we're at with our bingo board. So I correspond each book with a color. So for Sabriel, it worked for guilt-free activity because I went shopping and I bought stuff. Host fave, one word title, that's what it was, for Sabriel, and weapon on the cover. And then A Quick and Easy Guide to Queer and Trans Identities worked for borrow a book with green on the cover, different format because it was a graphic novel, and join sprints because I'm watching Jade's live reading sprints. So yeah, so that got me my first bingo here across the top, and I'm one away this way, diagonal, this line, and this line. And my next book, I have a poll out right now, is going to be for historical romance, which will get me a bingo here, a bingo here, a bingo here. It'll get me quite a few bingos, so very excited. And that was my 4th book out of my 7 reading goals. So doing well. So with that, I hope you guys are having a great day or night or whenever you're watching this, and I'll see you with a new video soon. Bye!